Hi, I'm Daniel Bergman. You're watching Fly TV, and today we're doing this. Our plan today is to do some rainbow and trout fishing. Oh, that's a huge fish. Oh, yes! Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. I was never in control of that one. Oh, damn. This is what you could call a typical rainbow trout box. That's a nice fish. Good morning and welcome to Fly TV. It's in the middle of the summer and our plan today is to do some rainbow and trout fishing here in the Hökensås area in the south of Sweden. We're gonna try some different techniques all throughout the day. But now, this early in the morning, we actually have some surface activity, so I'm gonna try to fish with a dry fly to start with. Here we have some of the food that's on the menu today. Cayennis, or slamslända in Swedish. It's also called the angler's curse. Can be really annoying when they're on those. They're quite small. This time of the year, it can be tricky to get them on the dries, but it's 4 o'clock in the morning now. The wind has not started, so I guess this is our best chance if we want them to hit the dries. Later on, when the sun gets higher, I guess we're gonna have to go to the sinking line and try some different techniques. We've seen some midges swarming, seen a couple of the small mayflies, the cayennis. So therefore I put on a tiny hatching midge, my first choice. Many different times of the year actually, when the fish is picky. So this morning tells me we're gonna have a great day. Beautiful morning. The amount of these small mayflies, cayennis, dead on the surface is just crazy. It's like a Swedish smorgasbord of food for the fish. So you need to be either skillful and be able to place your fly exactly in the line of the fish, or have incredible luck to place your fly just where a fish is about to eat. This is where the patience part comes in. You just need to wait them out. Whoa.
I'ma pack up my car and clean up the bank. I'ma drive to the station and fill up the tank. Maybe drive all the way to California. Let me tell you, this small town life ain't done nothing for me.
Well, seems as if that was it. The sun is up quite high now, the wind is picking up and you barely see any more rising fish. But I'll switch over to the sinking line and see if they have started feeding closer to the bottom. Switching over to a booby setup. We got a sinking line, quite fast one, and a short leader. And with this leader you actually control the depth you're fishing the fly, because the fly, as you can see, it has a pair of big floating eyes which will make this fly float actually. So the line lies on the bottom and the fly floats a little bit further up. Let's see how it works. It's usually good here. Now it takes a moment for the line to sink all the way to the bottom. I think we have like maybe a couple of meters outside here. And when you think the line is on the bottom, you can do a slow retrieve just to keep tension on the line so you can feel everything. The thing is, when you take home line, you actually get the fly to dive. And when you lose tension, it will float up again. And this can really trigger the fish. If you do a couple of quick pulls, then it dives, and then it starts to float up again. This is a good way to fish deep without snagging when the water is warm. It can sometimes really be the way to go. It's a good take. There's a lot of logs there. Strong fish. This guy just ripped the line from my hand. Poof! Nice bow. It looks like he got a neon sign in his mouth. Bye-bye. Down and dirty in the summertime. Let's see if there's any more out there. Casting situation here is quite tricky. As you can see behind me here, I have a really steep hill, which forces me to sort of change the angle of my stops when casting. I need to stop really high up with the rod tip in the back cast, and then I need to go really far down in the forward cast just to be able to get out a decent distance here, so I can reach the deep ledge out here. It's not pretty, but it gets the flies out. Oh, come on. He missed it. Let's see if it takes it again. Just keep contact. Come on. It's really entertaining when you get these small nibbles. And then they hit it hard. Up. Up! Yes! Oh, good take. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. No hesitation there. Whoa, he's jumping. Oh, this is fun. Whoa, whoa. Whee. Booby. This is the blob fish booby style. I got this from my good friend Kato, who's a competitive angler in the Norwegian fly fishing team. These are used quite often when fishing, when doing lake fishing, also during competitions. Can be used like now during high summer when the water is warm and the fish are close to the bottom, or during winter when their metabolism is so slow so they don't hunt very actively. Can be a really effective technique then as well. When I'm out fishing trout and rainbows in lakes like this, I usually carry two rods with me. One 9-foot line 5 for dry fly fishing and nymph fishing, for example. You can also cast some lighter streamers on this one, no problem. And then we have my new streamer favorite for lake fishing. This is a 10-foot for line 6, quite fast rod, really good when fishing wading with high banks behind you, or also when float tubing. It's nice to have that extra feet, both when casting and when landing fish. This one is of course loaded with a floating line with quite a long head, good for distance casting, and this one is loaded with a sinking line, so I can fish streamer or boobies as in this case. And this covers most of the situations that you can encounter during all season actually. When it comes to leader, it varies quite a lot of course, but I prefer using, for dry flies I use quite long nylon leaders, between like 12 feet and 20 feet in worst case scenarios. And for sinking lines it's sort of keep it as short as possible. It's more important to get it down than to have distance between the fly and the fly line. Diameter, I try not to go under 0.15, a 5x tippet, and I go all the way up to 0x when fishing larger streamers on sinking lines. They're usually not that fussy about the leader diameter, and in this lake the fish can be really big and really powerful, so if you use too thin leaders they can just snap it in the take, and that sucks. Yeah, that's more or less it.
7 sunsets since you've gone, lying awake until the dawn, hoping and praying my eyes were wrong. 7 rivers between you and I, where the oceans meet the sky. Heaven help me before I die. You love me that day, will you love me tomorrow?
I was just about to change to some sort of dry fly from the boobie when this guy just ripped the line from my hand. Strong as hell. They're so strong here. It's insane, these fish. This is the most fun part with the rainbow trout. They are so strong. Oh. It's a nice fish. Whoa! That's a good fish. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's a nice fish. Awesome. Crazy fish. Look at the spots. He got spots on his fins. Awesome.
7 rivers between you and I, where the oceans meet the sky. Heaven help me before I die. You love me that day, will you love me tomorrow? You love me that day, will you love me tomorrow?
That was an awesome fish. Seems as if the boobie technique is the way to go. So we moved to the more shadowy part of the lake. The sun is really strong. And this side is also the one that becomes deepest, fastest, so to speak. And I'm on the sinking line with the bright pink boobie. And that seems to do the trick. They love these boobies. Now probably hell is gonna break loose. Yes. In case I didn't mention, this lake is known for its big and strong bows. And there it came off. I was never in control of that one. Oh damn. And when it comes to flies, of course it varies throughout the season, but during summer fishing I prefer to carry a big box of dry flies with more or less everything that you can encounter during a day on the water. Caddis pupas, big sedges, small sedges, beetles, mayflies of all different kinds. Right now there's not much hatching at all, but this morning we saw quite a lot of midges. This is a version of the hairdresser's midge created by Patrik Johansson. Good fly. And then we have the disco box. This is what you could call a typical rainbow trout box, packed with everything from squirmies, blobs, boobies, or various hideous creature. I even got some wiggle-tailed snacks here. Cased caddis patterns, damselfly nymphs, some woolly bugger patterns. Yeah, more or less everything. Sometimes it can be a really good idea to fish 2 flies on a leader, just to find out what the fish actually prefer. You can have like a bigger anchor fly and a smaller dropper a bit further up on the leader. And this technique you can use both when dry fly fishing and when fishing streamers. Otherwise, when it comes to equipment, well, good net, some tools, and a pair of waders, and you're good to go. We found a couple of big fish standing in the surface just here. Oh, that's a huge fish. Is that really a trout? Doesn't really care about the fly, it's a bit short. If I land the fly sort of on them, they'll probably just explode. Hold on, here it comes. There's more. Oh, okay. Now I know. That's not trout, that's carp. Okay. Now I saw, when they turned, I saw the big scales on the side. That explains a lot. They stock some of the lakes here with grass carp to prevent the lakes from getting filled with grass and stuff. And you're not allowed to fish for them, so they're here for a reason. But it would have been fun if it was rainbows, because they were huge. Well, one of them looked a bit different. Could have been a rainbow, chilling out. Hey carps, I'm a rainbow. You wanna hang with me? Can make some really strange species together, or something. Okay, let's pack ourselves in the car and head for another type of fishing. Bring out the float tubes, and so we're prepared for the evening fishing. Cool.
There's a dragon under your skin, a friend that knows where you've been. He's knocking at your door. You let him in, let him in, let him in.
So we're out with the float tubes. I got some obvious advantages when fishing from a float tube compared to walking from land. Of course, you can reach everything, and especially during summer, like now, the fish tend to go a bit further out on the lakes, which can make it really tricky to reach from land. We'll see if we find any rising fish or even some bugs, but the wind is quite tough. So I thought we would start fishing this side. The wind has been pushing on to this bank for several days actually. So I guess most of all the food or the bugs hatching should end up somewhere along this bank. And of course the fish are where the food is. So we'll see. This is one of the bigger lakes here on the Hökensås area. Quite clear water, and it carries some really nice fish. I tend to catch quite a lot of old fish here that has been stocked a long time ago and that are in really nice condition, which makes them really cool. We'll see if we can find one of them big guys today. That would be really cool. Quite deep lake actually, probably over 10 meters at the deepest points, which is a good thing for high summer fishing. The fish can go down there into the cooler water. Haven't seen a rise so far, so I'm gonna start with the same sinking setup as before. But I got my dry fly rod ready for later on. Hopefully there will be some bugs hatching and the fish will start rising, but I'll begin with the sinking setup and see if it works out. This is nice, sort of the definition of peacefulness. Until I get hooked up, that is. I barely can believe it, but I saw a fish rising. That's good. Cool. I think that was the first rise. Hopefully that's a beginning. When fishing is slow, this usually helps. I know what I'm gonna do when I retire. Sun is setting, and as usual during the summer, this is when the surface activity starts. And we had a bunch of rising fish around us. Not close enough though, but that is hopefully just a matter of time. Still don't see any bugs though, which is a bit weird. We'll see.
My goodness, let me tell you the news. My head's been wet with the midnight dew. I've been down on bended knee, talking to the man from Galilee. He spoke to me in a voice so sweet. I thought I heard the shuffle of angels' feet. There's only one thing to me, he said, do my bit until the river's red.
Whoops. Shit happens. I took the smaller dropper fly that's laying just in the surface, but now it's totally drowned, so I'm gonna dry it up with some amadou here. I don't want the dropper fly to be completely dry and super high floating, but I wanted to stay in the surface at least, not sink. But the anchor fly, the big vulgata imitation, I want to float quite high, since we got, they're not big, but we got some waves, so it's sort of tricky to see when they take the smaller fly that's lying on the surface. So the big fly can actually work as a indicator. So I actually, from this fish, before I actually saw the splash of the fish, I saw this big one, the indicator fly, disappear when he took the smaller one. Quite cool. I see some seagulls moving in, which can be a good sign that the vulgata spinners that hatched earlier today are starting to move out to lay eggs on the surface of the water. It's good seagull food as well as trout food. Same thing again. We're paddling towards the calmer areas inside here. And then I heard a splash right behind me, and I just lobbed the fly out, and he took the dropper fly also instantaneously. Strong, they're strong. Whoa. I think it's actually a trout. Yes, yes, it is. It's another trout. Whoa, come on. Yeah, I got him. Woohoo! Beautiful. Beautiful. Look at that. Okay, go back. Nice. Nice. Summer fishing. Same thing again. He took the smaller fly. Cool.